hope your day is going well, swell, and I just wanted to say hi. Before we actually get started on Affirmation Station, I wanted to give a disclaimer that anyone that should come up and be a guest for Affirmation Station, the episode will be released on Buzzsprout, which means your voice will and your likeness will be available everywhere. So you consent by coming onto this podcast today that you are okay with that. And if you have things that you're selling, let me know so I can add that to product descriptions, and then you can be looked up and people can find you too. Now that I've done that disclaimer, we're going to go ahead and get started on Affirmation Station. Okay. All aboard! Chugga, chugga, chugga. Affirmation Station, Affirmation Station. What's today's affirmation? Welcome, sunshine, to Affirmation Station. My name is Charente Carr of JCLV21, where I joyously coach life victory. And today, I am the conductor on this here train where we learn how to maintain our mind, our body, and our spirit before going to our next destination or focal point. This stop has transfers to the best day ever on platform 2 or the worst day ever on platform 3. Choose wisely how you're going to perceive your day. Like every show, I will be walking you through 4 exercises to kickstart or invigorate your day with your mind at peace, your soul feeling loved, and your body feeling right. This show is live recorded on the Wisdom app at Divine Timing. The Wisdom app is available on iOS and Android. This is an audio sociable app with amazing mentors that pour in wisdom every hour of every day. This episode, we're going to be focusing on our regular theme of Love My Divine Tuesday, and we're going to be talking about building foundations and how to dismantle your foundation that you've already built if you need to rethink it. That's how we're going to get on the good foot today, okay? So let's ease some energy that has been stagnant. Let's wake up just a little bit more. So what I want you to do is just shake out your hands. Literally, just shake them out. Just shake them out as hard and as fast as you can. Just shake out your hands as hard and as fast. Keep going. Shake it out. Shake out those hands. Shake out those hands. Shake out those hands and then stop. Do you feel the feeling that I'm feeling, this little tingly in your hands? Sometimes you need to shake it out. So don't forget to shake out your hands today. Now that we've shaken it out, now that we waked up just a little bit more, let me give you the cues to listen out for. If you hear this ding dong means that we are going to the next exercise. If you hear this, this means that we just completed an exercise, and give yourself a round of applause or a pat on the back because you just did that thing. Okay? Okay. Let's head to the first exercise. This first exercise is called Say It and Claim It. This is all about speaking words of affirmation. So if you're feeling down, remember, it's okay to frown. Just remember to speak yourself back up by declaring new laws in your life or just simply saying, I love you. Here are the instructions for this exercise. Say these affirmations with me inside of your mind with that beautiful imagination of yours, or say these out loud with that beautiful voice of yours. If you want that maximum benefit, say these affirmations in front of a mirror or your front camera. Now, it's time to repeat after me to keep you free. I love myself. I trust myself. I honor myself. I value myself. I am brave. I am kind. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. I love you. Every day and in every way, I'm getting better and better. Every day and in every way, my life gets better and better. My success is inevitable. Release, repeating after me. You did it. You did it. You did it. Now here. Now I'm not going to twerk with it. Okay, just be silly in this moment. Just be silly. Be you, because you just poured that love into yourself. You just spoke that love into yourself, because words of affirmation are just 1 out of 5 love languages. And when you do a love language quiz that you can find on 5lovelanguages.com, please know that all those love languages are still love languages that you respond to. So do not neglect the other ones too. Okay, even if words of affirmation is not on the top of your list, but hearing you speak your own self up makes it where you don't have to seek the validation of others. So, thank you for pouring that love into yourself. Now, let's head to the next exercise. This exercise is called the breeze of breathing. This is where we focus on our life force, our chi, our prana, if you will. Breathing is a natural thing our body does without us even asking it. What is an amazing body that we have? Today, we are going to consciously breathe as it allows us to energize our body, focus our mind, and tap into the inner light that powers us up to even say what's up. Okay, that's what we're doing. This is why we do this exercise, because it helps in your perfect alignment. Now let me give you the instructions. There are 4 sets, because I'm trying to make sure all the folks are going to be able to do this, depending on how your body is currently situated. So the first set of instructions is for those lying down. Feel the support beneath you. Relax your shoulders and close your eyes. And do me a favor. I want you to tighten really, really tight your entire body and hold it. Hold it. Now release and relax. Okay. If you are driving, this next set is for you. Move your booty from side to side. I'm seriously, move your booty from side to side. It ain't gonna sleep today. Your butt's not gonna sleep today. Get comfortable in your seat. Sit up straight, relax your shoulders, keep your eyes open, and be aware of your surroundings. Safety first. If you are not driving and you are sitting down, move your booty also from side to side. Get comfortable in that seat. Plant your feet on the ground, sit up straight, relax your shoulders, and keep your eyes open if you want to. But if you want that better focus, close your eyes. If you are standing up, this last set of instructions is for you. Stand up straight, relax your shoulders, and if it's safe for you to do so, close your eyes, and if not, keep them open. If you are sure to close your eyes and you're standing up, please have a support system near you, as in a wall or a chair, something next to you, just in case you start feeling lightheaded and need to sit down. Safety is always first when it comes to any of these exercises. PSA over. So today, we're going to be doing the 4-7-8 technique, and it goes a little something like this. It's going to inhale through your nose for 4 counts. You're going to hold for 7 counts, and then you're going to exhale for 8 counts. You get to choose on how much relaxation you're choosing in this moment. If you want that deep relaxation, go ahead and exhale through your nose while you breathe in through your nose, doing that. And if you want that lighter side of things, do it through your mouth, as that will help you. That's more of a cycle breath than a super deep breath. So either way it goes, you do you. I'll be the counter for you. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get started. Inhale, 2, 3, 4. Hold, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Inhale, 2, 3, 4. Hold, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Inhale, 2, 3, 4. Hold, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. One more time. Inhale, 2, 3, 4. Hold, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Go back into breathing naturally. This exercise has come to a completion and you did it again. Now you have controlled that breath. You relax that body, yaddy, yaddy. I'm so proud of you. You spoke that life into yourself. I'm so proud of you. Now let's head to this third exercise. This next exercise is called Tap It In. In this exercise, we're going to be doing the EFT Tapping, also known as the Emotional Freedom Technique, which is alternative therapy for anxiety, post-traumatic stress disorder, chronic pain, weight loss, fibromyalgia, and many other conditions. To me, this technique is simply a form of self-love as we are touching on different areas on our body to move our energy, and we are saying words of affirmation with that. So pouring that double love into ourselves, Today we're going to be doing 4 different taps, and they're going to be tapping underneath the eyes, underneath the nose, under the chin, and on top of the head. Okay, the reason why we tap underneath the eyes is because it dissolves feeling fear and anxiety. And it dissolves all together, because here's the thing. We need to dissolve so we can allow, And what we allow in that process is the feelings of contentment, calmness, and safety. To do this exercise for this particular tap is literally to tap underneath your eyes. So literally go underneath your eyes on that top of your cheekbone. That is where you're going to be tapping on for underneath the eyes, in that middle area. We're going to be doing underneath the nose. The reason we do this is because it dissolves shame and powerlessness, which allows self-acceptance, self-empowerment, and compassion for self and others. How to do this tap is very, very simple. You take one of your fingers, and you start tapping literally right underneath your nose, right where that your left nostril and your right nostril have a separation, right underneath that on the mustache line. Okay, right there. That's what you're tapping. The next tap that we're going to talk about is underneath the chin. The reason why we do this tap, it dissolves confusion and uncertainty, so it can allow clarity, certainty, confidence, and self-acceptance. How to do this tap is now we're going to go underneath your bottom lip, and literally in that little, for me, I have like a little divot. That's where I personally tap. So it's literally right underneath your lip. Go a little, like literally less than 2 inches down right there. That's where you're going to tap on. You can use 1 finger, 2 fingers. Feel free to do what you feel is best for your body, okay? The last tap that we're going to do is tapping on the top of the head. The reason why we do this is because it allows our spiritual connection to receive a boost. And it anchors in all the new balance and alignment from the tapping round that we just completed of the dissolving and the allowing through tapping underneath the chin, under the nose, and under the eyes. Okay. Now let me actually give you the instructions for this exercise. You're like, what? You told us the taps and you told us why, but there's instructions now? Yes, there's instructions. Okay. You have to accept whatever you're feeling right now, whatever emotion that you're currently experiencing in this present moment, feel it. Accept it. Please know that this emotion is simply a part of your alert system, and all your emotions and your feelings are, one, valid, and they are completely okay. Now that you've accepted it, I'm proud of you for accepting it, because when you accept, you also allow, and when you allow, please know that means you have brought an awareness for you to consciously allow. Okay? You can't get there if you are just not accepting things. Okay? You got to accept it. And that's so you can foster the change that you want to see. Now, if you accept it yourself, I'm proud of you for accepting you and all your emotions, because you are also not your emotions. Just a little caveat. The rest of this instructions is we're going to be pairing the taps with affirmations that we use from Say It and Claim It. I'll be running through those with you. We're going to start by tapping underneath our eyes, and then I'm going to let you know when to switch where you're tapping, and also when to pause repeating after me, stop repeating after me, or resume repeating after me. Okay? So start by tapping underneath those eyes. Okay? Now repeat after me. I love myself. I trust myself. I honor myself. I value myself. Pause repeating after me. Switch to tapping underneath the notes. Resume repeating after me. I am brave. I am kind. Pause repeating after me. Switch to tapping underneath the chin. Resume repeating after me. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. I love you. Pause repeating after me. Switch now to tapping on the top of your head. Resume repeating after me. Every day and in every way, I'm getting better and better. Every day and in every way, my life gets better and better. My success is inevitable. No matter what they say, I am okay. No matter what I see, I am at peace in the highest degree. I got this. Stop repeating after me. Release tapping on the top of your head. Exercise completed. You did it. You did it. And as you probably heard, I threw in some extra affirmations in there. These are some affirmations I personally say in the morning, because sometimes I have to remind myself about what I'm seeing and what I'm hearing, and realizing that I don't have to become whatever other people are saying about me. Nah, child. I get to be me, authentically me, all unapologetically me. Like, you get to be unapologetically you. Because when you do that, I don't have to try to be like you. Because you're you, which is perfect. Okay? And now we're going to go ahead and head to our last exercise of the day. This exercise, I absolutely love it. I'm smiling hard right now because this is one of my favorite exercises, okay? And it is the exercise for venting gratitude, okay? Or if we're on a vent, at least let's vent some gratitude. And the instructions are simple for this exercise. We're literally just going to start rampaging, as in listing back to back to back all the things that we are thankful and grateful for in this moment. You can repeat after me if you want to, but you don't have to. You can have your own set of gratitude that you're pouring in this moment. Now, we're just going to go ahead and get started. Thank you, God, for this day. Thank you, God, for this present moment. Thank you for all the tinglies and the smiles that are coming through me right now. Thank you so much for the rest and the relaxation. Thank you that I can come and allow and just be. And that is more than enough. Thank you, God, for all the love that is in this life and it always being illuminated to me. Thank you, God, for my silly puppy. Thank you, God, for my supportive husband. Thank you, God, for my mentor mom. Thank you, God, for my wisdom auntie. Thank you, God for the job that I have and the provisions that you constantly provide me. Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you for the healing that's always in my body. Thank you for the perfect alignment that my body is in. Thank you, God, for emotions. Thank you that you've been giving me the strength to do my poetry. Thank you, God, that you inspire me when it comes to my paintings, and I just it actually conveys the way that I want it to convey. Thank you, God. Thank you. Just thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. I love venting gratitude. I love appreciating those things. I love adding value to those things by appreciating them. I'm in this moment right now. I feel the little tingles all over my body, and I'm just in gratitude, and I'm grateful to be where I am today. You may not know my story, and that is okay. But I know how far I've come, and I am grateful that I am here still. I'm grateful that I'm present still. I'm grateful that I'm no longer in a mental prison. I'm grateful that I have been set free, and I'm grateful that I have peace. And I'm grateful that you're listening in right now. So thank you. Just thank you, thank you, thank you. Now that we've shown love to ourselves, it's time to celebrate because we're great just with us being, not with any other doings of the day, with just us being. We are great. So let's go ahead and pour that celebration into ourselves and give yourself a round of freaking applause. You go. You go. We're going to do this some more. Okay? Because you need this. Yes. And the crowd goes wild. Woo! Yes. Do not forget to celebrate yourself. Big or small, or you're just here. That is a celebration. You don't need the validation from nobody else besides yourself. Hear me when I say that. Don't forget to celebrate you. And if you are having issues celebrating you, I'm about to tell you about this little podcast that's on this Wisdom app, okay? It is from Cecilia Grace. She does Kudos to You daily, okay? Daily. Did you hear me? Daily. So join her. If I'm not mistaken, she is literally live at 6 p.m. Eastern time every single day. I'm about to triple check those facts for you because so just celebrate with her. She celebrates you every single day in all different ways. And I absolutely love Miss Cecilia Grace. So I am triple checking right now because I want to give you the absolutely correct time so you can hop in on that live. So I was wrong on the time, and this is why I check these things. She is live every single day at 8 p.m. Eastern time, exclusively on the Wisdom app. Please join her, and don't forget to celebrate yourself. You do amazing things, but mind you, you are an amazing person. So just by that, a celebration should always be in your heart because you are amazing and you are set apart. During this entire time, just want to let you know, I love you. During this entire time, please know that I love you. Wholeheartedly, unconditionally, I love you. If you're listening in right now and you want to if you want to share some stuff, you want to share your favorite affirmations of the day or share how you're feeling or just talk with me for a second, the time to shine is now. Please know that while the time to shine is now and the timer is set for 5 minutes. Hello.
Hi, beautiful.
Hi, Auntie. How are you?
Good. Good. Were you accepting guests?
Yeah, I am. All the time, every day.
I love it. I just saw you on, so it says "Love My Divine Tuesday." You know what? I love my Divine Tuesday. You know, I just love being here. I love waking up. I love that I get to be a part of what's going on in the world today as myself. I get to be a part of what I talk with Martin John about, is just waking up and looking. get to look today. I get to look at whatever it is, and the seeing of what I look at will come to me. But God just said, be a looker today. You know, see what, don't look to see, but look to look. And I'm not trying to be confused, but how about we just look today, you know, and then let the Spirit bring the focus in on what we're supposed to see. The Spirit will zero right in on whatever the matter is. And I like what you said about, you know, just letting it come up, letting how we living. Are we living some line from our childhood? You know, are we living some interpretation of our adulthood? Are we, where's our frame of reference? Where are we looking from? Because where we're looking from is where we're living from. You know, I love it that it's divine. All of it's divine, you know, but all of it is not interpreted correctly, you know. And there's no, and when I say that, I just saying that when I'm looking through my experience, that's my direct looking. And when you are looking through your experience, that's your direct looking. I can't look from where you see from because I can only look from a glass and look from a distance, you know, because it's not my experience. Therefore, it's not my looking. But when you bring understanding to what it is that you're seeing and where it is that you're looking from, when you impart that understanding to us, when you're just talking, it just, you know, it helps people, you know. So you don't have to talk about nothing that you don't have no direct knowledge of. I say talk from that point of direct knowledge, that direct knowledge of yourself, what's being imparted to you. And that's divine. That's divine in a thing. Because you are so fine. You are so divine.
I love you.
You are so key to your looking. You are so key. So, I don't.
I thank you. Just so you know, you are in the matrix right now. I just want to thank you wholeheartedly because today's topic was about building a firm foundation. Yeah. And you just talked about everything, just everything, because it's within the being that you are able to even rebuild.
From all this space, you have every opportunity to reinvent, to carve yourself out of wall, out of concrete, to carve yourself out of the mountain, to cut yourself loose, to free yourself. Am I in the matrix still?
No, you're not. I'm just listening.
Okay. So I love, this is, I think one of the reasons that I love quotes is that it's a looking. And it's looking from another perspective, but it relates. I think anytime you're looking at a quote, anytime you come across a quotation made by somebody else in space, you can see. So today I was just, it was like, you know, we can reinvent. Okay, I'm sorry.
There is no reason to apologize for your awesomeness. The heck? What? Oh, audacity.
Back from the Matrix. I didn't know I was losing time.
No, you're absolutely fine. I'm like, I'm sitting, I'm listening, and I'm understanding. So continue with your wise words. Because I literally said, I thank you for my wise auntie and my venting gratitude today. And I was like, oh, she coming through today.
Yes, it's coming through. Because I'm just saying, God woke me up, and I was like, thank you for waking me up. Thank you for waking everybody up today. And for those that did not wake up here in this reality, thank you for waking them up in whatever reality they find themselves. And I just trust you, God, to comfort the people around them because we don't know. You know, I can only speak from the point of waking, pray from the point of waking, and being thankful for the breath that I'm breathing and the eyes that I'm looking through. And it took me right to the window, right to my patio door. I opened up every window in the house to let the sun in. I just opened the space and sat in the window and looked and just looked. And then I had my conversation with my sister, and she was just posting pictures of where she was looking from. Where she was looking from. And it just came to me. How awesome is the place that you're looking from? Instead of always trying to get out of the place that you are, look. Look and let this spirit draw you into seeing what you need to see. Don't be always so quick to move, but look from where you are for your experience. You know, if somebody shares something with me and they tell me what their opinion is, that's their looking. And their looking is not wrong. Their looking is right for them. And so I agree, your looking is right for you. But I say, when you get caught up in looking from a circumstance, you're not really looking. You're not really seeing. You're looking, but you're not seeing. And that's when you need to just breathe. That's when you just need to say a tiny prayer like, help me look from where I'm looking, from where I'm from. I'll never forget God asking me on the way to work, where are you from? And the first thought that came to my head was the address. And he says, where are you from? And the second thing came to my mind was a different address. And then when he asked me the third time, I thought maybe he's talking about from my parents. I've come from my mother, my father. But he was like, where are you from? I'm from you, God. He says, and you have seen righteously. So why are you looking from the pieces of the life? Why are you looking from the pieces of life instead of the whole of who you are? And I cried, and I cried, and I cried. I cried because I was whole and I didn't see it. That's my story. That's my looking, and I'm sticking to it.
I can't with you because I was like, I'm about to cry over here, man. Oh my God. I had to bring you back up. Because it was a joyous day. I was crying. And because I'm driving, I go, how am I going to remember this? I can't write this down. He said, you will remember it because of how it feels. You remember the feel of it. Just like you remember everything from every point of your life from the feel of it. I'm just going to rest in this moment for right now because I'm like, oh, there's so much that you said, especially in regards to looking at it from a narrow point of view to looking at it from a macro or a broad point of view. And like I had that perception shift when I was going on an airplane, and I saw the super tiny little big rig. Then I went in person. I was like, this thing is humongous. Right. Perception. Right. Like your perception. Oh my God, your perception, man, is something else. It is a wondrous thing. And I will say this is that I remember sometimes my perception was based off all the things that I was saying that was hurting me. And I was allowing that hurt to hurt me in that moment still, even though the hurt was already done. Right.
Right. And perception is per person, per experience. Per, what's your per? P-E-R. Perspective. What are you seeing from? What's your per? Where are you purring from? Where are you making noise from? What's your per? Where's your
That makes
perspective?
sense.
Where's your perspective? You know, I'm not mission minded. I'm just not mission minded. You know, some I'm on a mission. I got to get this. I'm not on the pounded. I'm not on the grind. Just looking.
You're just being in this moment. Just being. Just being. Vibing.
Just being. Vibing with the vibe that is here right now that started early in the morning. And I never get the chance to, I guess I never take the chance. And I won't even judge it because the day was just a day for looking. The morning where I looked out the window. Look out the window today. I'm just saying that's just, if you get a chance to sit and look out the window just for sake of looking. And it'll be interesting. Just be interesting in what you narrow in on what comes to you. If your problem and your circumstance come to you, I just say, look further. Look beyond that. Look beyond seeing that. And says, what do you want me to see in this circumstance? What do you want me to see? Maybe that's why circumstance starts with a C. What do you want me to see in the circumstance? I know you don't want me to think from it. I don't know. I'm not sure. I'm in it. I'm in it for a reason that I can't see, but I have to trust that it's developing me. Whatever it is developing me. Whatever it is, it's going to be to my good. It's going to work out for my good because that's the promise that everything works together for my good for those that love God. Love God, love self. Love self, love God. It's all the same. Have joy, have sorrow, have joy. All the same pocket. It's all the same pocket. Just imagine yourself with coins in your pocket that say joy and sorrow. And you dig in your pocket, and you pull it out and you turn it over and you look. Tails is sorrow, heads is joy. And that coin is always flipping. It's flipping. It's just flipping, and everything is temporary. I am temporary. Everything I have and I own is temporary. Everything. But this spirit is eternal. And it's from this spirit that I speak. Because I'm going to have to go back and listen to this because this is like meeting me. I'm at the door looking at this.
Can we not? Because I'm just taking notes at this point. I'm just like, coins in the pocket. And then that brought me to my silly self. Just going to let people know my silly self of thrift shop. I got $20 in my pocket. I'm about to go to the thrift shop because he's about to do a come up. Okay, that song. Because it didn't matter if he only had $20. It didn't matter because he was still going to experience the joy of having new clothes, even if they were used. I love you, Auntie, so much. So much. And if you're talking right now, I can't hear you. So I don't know if you're in the Matrix or you're just not talking. She'll be back. That's her time to come back. Let me actually just preface it like that. I love everything that she said. I love everything that just poured out of her in this moment, in her beingness. I very much appreciate her even taking the time to be in this moment, co-creating the reality that she is experiencing and that I'm experiencing right now. And I will say this is that when she was talking about perspective, it also brought me up to, what are you worshiping? Legitimate. What are you worshiping in your mind right now? And what I mean by worshiping is repeating it over and over again, declaring that that's the glory. What are you worshiping in your mind right now? Is it something that actually uplifts it when you want to do a shout? Or is it something that is bringing you a lot of woes? Because I remember last year I was playing my clarinet, and there are some songs that I have memorized from my childhood that I absolutely adore. So one of those is Danny Boy, and the other one is A Whole New World. We're bringing somebody up. 3, 2, 1.
Hi, Charente.
Hi, Loyce, Hampson, MAMFT.
I missed you. I was listening. You talk to Martin John, and I wake up and I'm hearing you on your own stage.
I'll be moving on to different places.
You be moving, I'll be snoozing.
You needed to snooze after you did that walk and looking at those lookout points. I will say this, I was praying about you, and I was praying that everything was all well and you made it back to your hotel. And then somebody said, go on Wisdom. And I heard you. I was like, she's straight. I don't need to check on her. Yeah. She's straight.
Yeah, I'm good. I know because I just know how to do some of the stuff I didn't understand as far as the Uber thing was concerned. And I you know how I am. Well, how I was.
I do.
But everything worked out.
I do.
So, let me see what else I was going to tell. Yeah, congratulations on your episode number 60.
Thank you, Mom.
Say kudos to you. Okay.
Thank you. Just so you know what the topic is, if you want to impart some of your wisdom gems from all your 60-something years. Okay. Is this. We're talking about building a firm foundation. I brought in to sit and observe your thoughts to start helping you figure out where your stuff is coming from. Lisa K came on the stage as well, and she said this one bar that I had to write it down, which is everything is temporary, 1. And 2 was see for circumstances, because you have to see.
Right.
And she was also talking about staying in your beingness as well.
Oh, that's very good. That's true. Well, I know that, and once you become an adult and you're living life, you really need to reevaluate where you've come from and why you believe what you believe, and question some of those beliefs, because we don't have a stellar life, and most people don't grow up with everything as a silver spoon in their mouth. I'm sorry, I have food in my mouth. There's a silver spoon in their mouth, but we go through things, and then we don't talk about what we go through, and then we let that stuff. Then we label that stuff some awful adjectives, and then we end up having to relive the stuff over and over again, because the way we told the story to ourselves as to what happened to us. Okay? So when you're building a foundation, or when you're looking at your foundation and looking at where you come from, you got to ask yourself, is the story that I'm telling empowering me? Is it empowering anyone else? Or is it making people pity me, or making people feel sorry for me, or you know what I mean? So that when you do have your foundation be firm, because the foundation built on, I need attention, I want attention, let me tell everybody about all my problems, and not really get no solution, but just go from people to people. I love how Marcella says it on here, trauma dumping your trauma on everybody's stage that you can find, and your story stays the same. It stays exactly the same, because you're not trying to get a solution for your story. Or you can do it like I say. I'm going to listen, and I know I was a therapist, and I listened to stories over and over again for many years. But I'm at the place right now. I'll let you tell me your story one time, okay? But anything else after that, it's about the solution. It's not about the problem. It's not just focused on the problem. It's about focusing on solutions. And if you've let your stories cause you more problems, then you really got to evaluate your story. Okay? And I only say this because I was listening to somebody else here before I fell asleep, and it sounded like the story was being glorified, um, and with no healing occurring. And it sounded like they were trying to get more attention than they were help. And that's only going to hold them in that state of not being in this longer. That makes sense?
It does. You're running out of time. Please come back.
Oh, okay.
Thank you. I love what she's saying, and I'm going to let her come up. And I will say this is that when you are choosing to listen to someone else trauma dump or relive that story over and over again, you can accidentally absorb that energy at the exact same time. And if you start questioning, well, why am I going through my story like I'm going through my story? Maybe you just witnessed some things and it's causing some stuff to come up for you that might not need to have come up, or for you to evaluate. Go ahead.
It's called secondary trauma. You can listen to, you can hear people, and I'm saying this coming from a place of having had to heal from secondary trauma too, because I've helped a lot of people for a lot of years as a therapist. And after a while, I absorbed the stuff. Did not know I was absorbing all the stuff. And because I thought I was throwing it off me when I finished. However, some of the stuff stays, especially if you allow the person to continue to tell you the same story from week to week, day to day, or whatever. Because the thing is, things are always changing. Things are always changing. And I've told the story about you cannot cross the river twice in the same spot because the water is flowing. It is not going to be the same no matter how many times you try to cross in the same spot because the water is flowing. And if you're not allowing your life to change, that means you're trying to hold yourself in that place of trauma. Because there must be more that must be learned, or more, there may be a secondary gain from you telling the story as opposed to working on the solution of the story. And sometimes we don't even know that we are holding on to a story that is hurting us and not helping us because we are so lost in our trauma until we got on those trauma glasses and the trauma lenses and we can't see clearly. So that's why I said when building this foundation, as you become an adult, you got to question your beliefs. Question your beliefs. I mean, why do you believe that there's a God? Why do you believe there isn't a God? Why do you believe that Jesus was Lord? Why do you believe that Jesus ain't Lord? Why do you believe that Muhammad did this? Why do you believe, all the way through? And you have to question what you've learned. Because the thing is, a lot of us adapted everything that we heard as the truth. And the thing is, it was a truth, but it was the truth of going to everybody else. It's okay, when my mother was teaching me things, she was teaching me things that was her truth. When I adapted them, they became my truth. Does that make sense?
It does. It makes total sense to me.
The whole thing is, the bottom line is that we have to evaluate what we believe and what we don't believe, and why we believe the way we do. Because some of those beliefs may be of no benefit to us. They may be holding us back from, hey, like I did, climbing a mountain, a bunch of fears that were implanted that I didn't realize they were a part of me, that stopped me from climbing mountains for years. So my thing is just don't be shy. Get in there. Ask yourself, why did I just say that to them? Where did that come from? How come I said just like that? Oh boy, where did that come from? Especially if you answer somebody in a very short, curt way, and then like, dang, why did I do that? What did they set off on me? And recognize if they did trigger something and something did come up, it's a trigger of a starting gun for your healing. Okay, because that's all the triggers are for, is for you to start healing. They come up for you to heal organically. You know, they don't come up just you can try and frack them up. You can try and bust up the ground of your heart and your soul and dig the stuff out. But it's better if you just let the stuff come up organically in conversations where you say, "Oh, I didn't like how they said that." And, you know, and you feel some type of way. Then you got to hold on to that shit, okay, and keep it moving because evidently they hit a nerve of somewhere that needed to be healed in you. So, bottom line is evaluate your beliefs, why you believe what you believe, because some of those things may be true for who taught you, but they may not be true for you. I love you, Charente, okay. And I will talk to you soon.
Oh, man, I have questions for you. Yay, she's coming back. Thank you for gracing us with more of your time. Loyce, I greatly appreciate it. Ooh, I'm just going to tell you, Mom, I can't do that.
Okay, but I answer some questions. What you want?
So, can you talk about the suffering, the thing that you taught me when I was a child?
Oh, okay. Well, when we get into a situation and we don't resolve it in a healthy manner, I'm going to say a healthy manner, we have to repeat that situation and we enter into the ring. Now, when you say you enter into a ring, it could be a boxing ring, it could be whatever. But the thing is, you enter into a ring and you play Ring Around the Rosy, going over and over and over, experiencing the same situation with new people, new places, new things throughout your life until you graduate out of it. And being in a suffer, to suffer is normal, but to be in a ring of suffer, that's almost a choice when you don't realize what you're doing to yourself. And you don't get out of that ring of suffer until you have compassion for yourself and say, hey, wait a minute. I don't like this. I don't like this ring of suffer. You know, this suffering. I can't take it anymore. And then when you realize that a lot of it is of your making because you decide not to respond in a way which is healthy for you, which I would say that in a way in which your inner spirit or inner light or inner guide agrees with, because if you approach things with that your inner light agree with, you feel good. You feel really good. You feel like you're on top of the world. But the minute you feel some type of way, that means you're not looking at that thing the same way your inner spirit is looking at that thing. And so you need to adjust it. And I'm going to use this as an example. It was the coat example. All right. Now, I didn't like people stealing stuff from me. Okay? So when somebody stole a little bitty old cheap old coat, I got all pissed off and mad and hollering at the world when we first moved to Vegas. Okay? That wasn't a good response. I should have blessed that coat and let it go. But that wasn't what I did. Okay? So move down 3 or 4 years later, I lose another. It went from a small sweater, a shrug, to a sweat jacket with my initial on it. And of course, the second time I went dead off thinking blah, 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 blah. Okay? And that was still not a right response to that. Okay? So I'm still in that ring. Here it is, another 2 more years come by, and then somebody steals a designer expensive coat. Okay, this year. But this time I recognized the ring I had been in. And I blessed the coat and said, the person is going to have their own karma for taking my coat. But the thing is, I blessed the coat for all the years it served me and told it it could go on this way. And I was just fine whether I had the coat or not. Well, whereas the other times I didn't. I had compassion for myself because having that mood, that nasty mood that carried my vibration down. So this time, blessing the coat and sending this on its way, I had a whole different feeling and I felt so much better, and I didn't have to go around that ring again. I don't have to go around that ring again. So now if something comes up missing or something, and I just know that it ain't lost and it ain't gone and ain't nobody stole it. It's just for me to be more careful with stuff. But the whole thing is I will suffer over and over again the same thing. And each time the stakes get bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger, until I respond in a, I'll say conscientious manner and understand that people are more important than things. And that's the real. People are more important than things. People before things. So instead of being mad, this lady took the coat, and the other lady gave away the coat. Basically, uh, I had to calm the lady down who gave away the coat by accident because she was about to lose her mind and thinking she's going to lose her job because she thought I was going to go off because she gave away my stuff. But like I said, that little bit of compassion I had for myself and for her made everybody have a good night because it was just a thing, regardless to whether it was mine. And it was temporary. Everything, again, here, go back to myself. Everything is temporary. This too shall pass. This season will pass. And when we know that, we won't let ourselves play ring around the rosy and stick to a story and get stuck in that ring of suffer. To answer you?
Yeah, and I have one more question.
Okay.
So I'm gonna allow her to go down and come back up so I can ask this last question, and then we're gonna wrap up for today. Okay, so the second question is, I was recalling a memory, and I don't know the name of these particular goggles that you had me and my sisters try on when we were younger, but they messed up our judgment. What were those called?
Oh, those were the alcohol goggles. Okay.
That's what they're called. I said beer goggles. I was like, I don't know what they're called.
No. Okay. Okay. Since I worked in drug and give everybody a background. I worked in drug and alcohol for a long time, helping people to get sober, designing programs, and doing things that I felt would work better than what was out there. And praise God, my program is still 80-something% successful, and it's running in California right now. But part of my program was to teach adolescents. This was an adolescent program. Some of them hadn't really did a lot of drugs. Some of them only did a little bit, but the little bit they did do, they didn't know how to hold it and stop it and all of the kind of stuff. So I felt it was important to educate them as to what happens when they get drunk, when they get high, or when they get drunk or get high together and then takes other stuff. So one pair of goggles were normal vision. Okay. The next pair of goggles were goggles after you had one or two drinks. The next pair of goggles was after you had about 4 or 5 drinks and they were you on tilt. And the fourth pair of goggles had you on alcohol and a bunch of other stuff where you couldn't see nothing. And then I would have you do activities and throw the ball in the cup or walk the straight line. It was so funny. It was so funny watching everybody do this. But once you finished, you actually could see the effect of your brain and your vision and your perception and your imbalance when you did use separate different types of substances. Now, I want to say this: some of the kids says, okay, now I know that I know I can have 1 or 2 drinks and I'll be okay. So, and I'm gonna be an adult. I'm only gonna have a couple of drinks, but I know if I have at least 3, I definitely ain't gonna do nothing because I saw 2 wouldn't even let me walk a straight line. So it was just teaching you, giving you that temporary crappy vision. Okay, but some people, and I'm gonna say this: some people walk through life with trauma goggles on. Okay, and everything they see and everything they experience is experienced through the eyes of trauma, meaning that they live in a fight or flight phase. And when you live in fight or flight, where your hormones and stuff are sparking off, and it's a real heated thing, your digestion changes, because if you're in fight or flight, you don't digest food because all of your energy is going to save your life. And when you live through those trauma glasses, you're kind of like in a trauma state inside your body, inside your brain and your body for a long time. And anything that stays at that level of excitement for an extended period of time, eventually it's going to shut down, period. That's like you're running a marathon. You can run a marathon, but at the end of your race, if you don't stop and get no rest, you're going to pass out and you're going to be dead. Because everything must rest. Once it starts moving, it has to have a period of rest in order for it to sustain itself. And just like you can't sit and rest all day, because if you rest all day, when you rest for days in the bed or whatever, you try to get up a week later, you can't hardly stand up good because you haven't used those muscles to stand. So the goggles and all those things and all the stuff, all that just shows us that we got to stay in motion and we got to watch how we see things. And that's why I use I think they were called drunk goggles. You know, I know one of my facilities I think I left them with them. You know, it was kind of like a leaving gift because I wasn't going back into that anymore. But that'd be a good idea to go get them drunk goggles. But they were called drunk goggles. But they just showed you your perception on different substances, how it changes.
Thank you for the illustration. I greatly appreciate. You literally just drove all the points home, and just thank you for the stories. Thank you for the life that you've lived, and thank you for a mini window into it, Mom. I greatly appreciate it.
Oh, you're welcome. And you know, anytime, I love you, and I just wanted to climb on stage and say, hey, it's been since I haven't talked to you since I climbed the mountain. So I'm gonna go back to my room, and I'll talk to you after you get off of here. Bye.
Love you. Bye. I'm just going to say thank you, Mom. I greatly appreciate you for all of who you are, what you do, and imparting to me different points of your story so that I can also help me shape my reality, because we live this life and you get so many inputs. You can choose some of those inputs, or you can unconsciously choose the inputs that come into your life. And I appreciate all of the wisdom that I can glean from my mom and her story, or Lisa Kay and her story, for the fact that by me understanding from a tiny point of view of their story, I don't know their entire story, I can get what I need to get from it and say, I got a new input. I like that input. That input resonates with me. I don't have to go through that lesson. So thank you. We're going to go ahead and move into our topic for building a firm foundation. And if you're so inclined, go ahead and tap in, speak with me for a second, drop back out, and then keep doing what you're doing. For me, when it comes to building a firm foundation, it's taking a literal reflection point, okay? So what I mean by that is sit and observe your thoughts. Just sit and observe your thoughts for a moment. What do you hear? Is it silent? Or is it noisy in your mind? Now, what is being said? Okay? You got to really evaluate what's being said. Do you like it? Or do you not like it? How does it make you feel? What emotion does this evoke of the thoughts that you're thinking? How does it make you feel? And if you don't like it, it's time to do some dissolving so that you can evolve into the life that you want to have, okay? And that is doing the Ho'oponopono prayer. That is doing some of the affirmations that we were using in Say It and Claim It and the EFT Tapping. That is saying, I'm sorry, please forgive me, thank you, I love you. The reason we say this prayer is because it makes right with right. That's why we say this. And the thing is that this can be, the word prayer sometimes can rub people wrong. Mantras, if you will. Phrases, if you really want to get down to it. Many sentences, if you really need to break it down that far. There are multiple truths that can exist, and there's multiple words that can be used to constitute things. Do not let a word trigger you. Don't do it. Because by you allowing that word or whatever that thought is to trigger you, you are going to start rationalizing yourself. You're going to start defending what doesn't need to be defended. So stop. Okay, just stop. Do the phrases, make right with right, and keep repeating this entire process until your foundation feels comfortable. It feels firm. You are co-creating the life that you actually want to have. Okay? And you do this in all areas too. And say, okay, so I'm going to sit and I'm going to think about my career. And then let your mind do what your mind does. Let your mind do the thoughts. Do you like the thoughts that are coming up? Are you repeating those thoughts? If when you repeat those thoughts, you are literally stealing your own time. Not a devil stealing your time. You are stealing your own time by allowing your mind to dictate how you're going to feel in that moment by letting some thoughts snowball that didn't need to snowball. And you might be thinking like Charente, but they're so pervasive and they just keep they keep coming and I just can't stop. And yes, you can. Yes, you can. Don't give me that. Yes, you can. You can stop them in their tracks by saying stop. I am so serious. When I discovered this for myself, I was like, oh God, all I had to say was stop, and it stopped. This like really reminds me of the Bible when it says that God spoke and things were created. You can always stop creating. If God lives inside of you, you can always stop creating in that moment. Your thoughts plus your emotions plus divine inspired actions will lead you to whatever it is that you've been asking for. Okay? You have to get your thought life right within your own eyes, not with what they said. Forget them, whoever they are. I don't care who the heck they are. They're not living my life. Only you are living your own life. Okay? So stop it. They can't dictate how you're going to do it. They can't dictate your mind. You are literally allowing them to steal your time. Stop allowing other people, including yourself, to steal your time. Just be, baby. Because within the beingness, within you doing the reflection, to even do the reflection, you have to be in the being in the first place. Please know that. Yes, we do things, but it starts with us being first. And when you're in your being, are your thoughts taking over? And I'm going to say this, is let go of all the expectations. All of them. All of them. I expect while I'm driving that car is not going to swerve into my lane. That's my expectation. No, just be. Lay in the cut, baby. Lay in the cut simply means I'm going to keep my distance and I'm just going to vibe, which also means that you're going to allow yourself to have enough time to go from place to place. Even if you have to map it prior to you leaving to make sure you have more than a lot of time to get to wherever your destination is. Because that car didn't do anything to you. That person didn't do anything to you. You just had an expectation that they were going to act a certain way. You can't control nobody else. You can only control yourself. So to build a firm foundation means that you're going to love and accept you for all of you. And only take responsibility for you. Because that's all you can do. When you're doing your response, please know, response is literally a responding to whatever. It's someone's respond ability. So their ability to respond, whatever that is. All you can control is yourself. That's it. That's all. Nobody else. Only yourself. Only. So stop. And I'm going to give you this. There was a word that illuminated itself to me recently, and it was the word hide. I like acronyms. Please know that. So, when the word hide came to me, what I thought about was it's a hidden identity directing everything. I'm going to say it again. Hide. Hidden identity directing everything. Doesn't matter what it is. I used to have a hidden identity of not feeling like I was freaking enough for nothing. That was directing my actions and my overspending. That was directing of how I felt when it came to what my husband was saying to me. It directed how I responded to my mom when my mom was loving on me. And it wasn't due to anything that they said or they did, but I had a hidden identity of not enoughness that was directing all of my actions, my thoughts, and how I was perceiving this current reality. What is your hidden identity? And how is it directing you? Now my hidden identity is my spirituality. It directs everything that I do. It directs my being. Because I follow the innate. I follow the little still quiet voices in my mind. It may sound crazy to some. I don't care. It's my life, not yours. You do with your life and what you want. I'm going to do with my life for what I want. Thus far, it's been absolutely astounding. You get to choose these things. You get to choose your life. You get to choose what thoughts you keep. And if you're having a moment where the thoughts are just compounding, and you say stop and it doesn't stop, I'm going to implore you to do something else. Think the next better thought. Even if you got to squirrel out, baby. Squirrel. And what does squirrel out mean? Right now, I am sitting in my office. So if I wanted to squirrel out because I was having a bad little thought in my little mind, I'll be like, I see the word good leader. What's a good leader? Because mind you, I have my vision board in my office. So I'm like, what's a good leader? I'm going to squirrel out on this moment. Or I look, I see a unicorn. I'm going to squirrel out on the unicorn for a moment. Whatever, you can literally direct your attention somewhere else. You are literally the director of your life. You don't need to be the editor. When you want to edit, only when you're in your reflections. Don't edit while you're literally live, like living life. Enjoy life. You can reflect and ponder at a different time. They're not meant to be doing the exact same time, okay? Enjoy life. There's a time and a place for reflection. And if you want to build a firm foundation, you got to reflect on the current foundation you already have built. You got to reflect to see if you are bringing in things from your childhood that you didn't even like that no longer serve you. You got to do that evaluation and be okay with whatever that you see. Because there's nothing wrong with it. There's absolutely nothing wrong with your childhood. It's just your perception of it. So as I was playing A Whole New World. And then I started hearing in my mind, Danny Boy. So I literally, my fingers just started moving to me playing Danny Boy. And then I started crying. Then I called my auntie. And my auntie said, how you go from A Whole New World to Danny Boy? Charente, do you know what the lyrics of Danny Boy are? And I'm like, no, I just really like this song. It's like, it's the melody. And she's like, look up the lyrics. Please look up the lyrics. You need to know what that actually says. I looked up the lyrics, y'all. And it's a mourning song. It's a sad song. So I slipped my perception from singing A Whole New World with my clarinet to going to a lower vibration song. It wasn't intentional. I don't judge myself for this. But it was for me to observe. It's for me to also see how I'm perceiving things. And in those moments and in that time of my life, I was going from high to low. I was going from 0 to 100 real quick in my emotions. And I recognized that if I wanted to have more harmony, those swings can still happen. It's how fast am I going to bounce back from it? Because it's going to happen. I cannot say that I will never feel anger again. I cannot say I will never feel any of these things again. It's still a possibility because I'm a human being and I have emotions. And it's one of my sections of emotions, okay? Can't say I can never feel it. But how fast can you bounce back from it? How fast are you going to pick yourself up? And through that, me being my silly self and just playing my clarinet, I was able to see that I can bring myself back up At that time, it was slow. Now it's a lot faster. And it's because I've consciously been aware of what I've been thinking on. Is that I've been consciously aware of just me. I have stayed in my own lane. I have not veered left. I have not veered right. I am going with the traffic of my own life right now. Okay? I love you. I thank you. But I don't go in other people's lives anymore. I don't do that. And the reason I don't do that is because I don't know what the heck they're actually going through. I don't know where they've also been. So who do I look like trying to really tell them how to live life? No, I can just say, this is what I did. You can do what I did. But it also could not be the thing that you need to do to help you with whatever you're currently going through. I can't tell you what's right for you. I can't. I can give you the tools, and like us going through all the exercises that we go through. These are some of the tools that I use to help me. But it's only through you doing them and seeing if these things even resonate with you. Even when I was going and I was trying different exercises to see what vibed well in my body. I like swimming. It's not one of my top things, but I like swimming. But I also really, really like walking. I love dancing. So now I don't force myself to do all the things that I don't like doing. I only focus on things that I do like doing. And I bring along people that like doing those things too. I don't force anyone to conform to what I like doing. That's their life and what they want to do. I'm done being in someone else's lane. I am done. I am going to be in my lane, and I'm going to observe other people's realities from a distance. I don't always need to engage. I don't always need to connect. And anytime I see something as a reflection outside of myself in someone else's life, I'm like, I'll ask myself sometimes, why am I seeing this? And inside myself will gently let me know, you're just a reflection of them, either on the beginning of their healing process or you're the healed person of this. Remember when you used to X, Y, and Z? And I'm like, oh yeah, I do remember that, don't I? I don't harp on it no more. I can still remember it. And whenever I pull out a memory, I'm pulling it out with love. I'm not pulling it out with anger. I'm not pulling it out with the original emotional vibration that it was at. I'm pulling it out with love. Because love covers all. Love fills in the gaps. Love makes you feel all the little tingies in your body, the tingle-tangies. That's the easiest way I can say it. Like, I feel tingles in my body when I am focusing on love and I'm remembering with love. By me being able to remember with love, a lot of the stuff in my childhood, I also got to see things from a different point of view. Like, I was like, well, if I was my mom in the situation, what would I have done? Well, I would have been like, I would have floundered. My mom's a G, okay? I would have floundered. It looked like, from my perspective, that she was able to do everything within grace and in love with God, okay? Because I realized that it was nothing that anyone did to me. It was how I chose to see myself. It was how I chose to not allow others to hurt me. So I would hurt myself in their presence and make sure that they know that they don't need to hurt me because I've already hurt myself and they don't need to do that. I got myself. I'm giving you guys some of the stuff that I did back in my day. It didn't feel good at all. I felt like I didn't want to be here at all because how I was choosing to perceive my life. Not realizing how many freaking blessings I have had in this current incarnation of Charente Carr. Okay? I didn't even realize it. I am still realizing it even till today. And I'm going to say this and I'm going to keep proclaiming this. You get to build the life that you want to have. Consciously. You do not have to build the life that someone else told you to build. That was their life. That's on them. You live your life the way that you perceive it and you want to live it. Even me having tattoos on my body, that is how I'm choosing to live my life. Does that vibrate well with other people that are around me in my family group or my friend group? No, but I don't care what they think. I I really don't. It's my body, my life, my story. All I can change is me. And this like really reminds me of the serenity prayer of I accept the things that I cannot change. And I only focus on the things that I can change. And all that I can change through all of this that I've been learning is me. And how I react to things, how I see things. And choosing to see the better feeling thing, whatever it is. Even while I'm looking out my room as my auntie was talking, I'm still looking out my room right now. I see the light shining on this beautiful palm tree that is high. It ain't low. It is high up in the sky, which means that the roots of that tree go down deep for it to be as high as it is right now. So while you are building your foundation, please know a lot of dismantling has to come out of that. And you have to go deep. Because remember, you're a skyscraper. They have to go twice as deep to build the things as high as they do. So you got to go deep within you and know that you can't get lost within yourself. You'll pull yourself back out. And if you want to watch a movie in regards to this, all this symbolism, you're like, I need to see this Charente so I can better understand it because I'm a visual learner. Go ahead and take a look at Frozen 2. Not joking. I think it's available on Disney Plus. Okay? You might need a subscription for it. Look at Frozen 2. I'm being as serious as I can be. Look at Frozen 2. Look at Elsa's story. She had to go deep within herself to see all the things that her family did, okay, to help her lead her kingdom to where they were able just to be happy. And through her going so deep within herself, she was able to get back out through love. It's through love. So please know, if you feel fear going within yourself, know that you can always choose love. And please know that is just false evidence appearing real, because your brain, your mind, likes things that it can automatically calculate based off the current circumstances that you've already been in. And it's okay to go deep within yourself to understand yourself better. You don't have to understand everybody else. Understand you at your core of you and enjoy life. And if you're worried about money right now, please, money's just freaking energy. It ain't the paper that you see. It is just energy. Okay? Change your mind, change your life. Mind over matter, or mom it, if you will. Mind over matter. Or meditate over matter. Whatever you want to use your words for. But do this. And when you do this, you're going to see that the things that you were built on, some of it was stuff that you liked, some of the stuff that you didn't like. And the things that you don't like, you can shed that. You can dissolve that. You can send that out. And you can put some things that are new. This has happened for me in my life, literally in the physical. Let me explain what physical means. So I have stairs at my house. Okay, I got some stairs. A week ago, the stairs fell. Like, fail. Like, if you decided to take a step out, you would fall too. You don't want to fall like the stairs, okay? That's what was going on in my house. A week goes by, and my dad comes into town. He fixes the stairs. And what we found out by looking at the stairs that were already there, that have been there this entire time I've had this house, that they were not built with a firm foundation. It had holes. It had gaps. It had nothing to hold it up. It had nothing to make it steady. It had nothing. It was a hollow freaking shell. That's what we found out. So we went to the Home Depot store, because we go to the Home Depots to get the woods and some nails. And he built the stairs with a firm foundation. He built it with wood, so with every time you step down, that there is something else besides the wood on the outsides to hold up together the insides. This is literally happening in my life. I can't make this up. Sometimes it's time to deconstruct, to reconstruct. how you want to have your life in this time. And please know, the only thing that you cannot get back, not ever, never, never, to the ever, to the never, never, ever, never, is your time. Be mindful how you spend your time. Be mindful how you spend your money energy. Be mindful about you and how you do you. And don't forget to celebrate you. Never, ever, never, ever, ever, never. You are this is going to sound weird, you're your own savior. No man is going to come and rescue you. No woman's going to come and rescue you. You have to rescue yourself by looking and reflecting on the lenses that you're perceiving things through. Sometimes I like to call these the trauma lenses. Sometimes you got to take those trauma lenses off and look at something different. And I remember when I was a child, so my mom, married family therapist. Okay, she's working with juveniles, she's working with kids. She also did alcohol and behavioral stuff. So she want to let you know her background so I can tell you this story and it'll make sense to you. So my mom had this briefcase. Okay, within this briefcase, it had the different. It had some. What are they called? I think they're called drunk goggles or something like that. I don't know exactly the terminology of what they're actually called, but I call them drunk goggles, okay? Or beer goggles, whatever you want to call them. You put these things on and it will make you perceive in a way that you would if you were completely intoxicated. When you took that off, your perception changed. So hear me when I say this. How are you perceiving things? And you can change them. Whatever you're perceiving, every moment of every day is new. Every moment of every day is new. I'm going to let you sit with that one because I'm going to have to sit with this one too and listen back to this myself. Everything really is temporary. Everything. So if you know it's temporary, do not make a lifelong decision based off something that's temporary. I almost did that a couple of times in my life of me literally taking my physical self out. But I didn't do that. And it was because people had to remind me I was basing that lifelong choice, that permanent choice, on some temporary circumstances. Okay? You don't have to do that at all. Plain blank, that's completely on you. And I'm going to say this, is that if you are having issues, okay, and you know, me just saying that kind of triggered you in this moment and you need to have a phone call with someone, please know you can always type in the suicide hotline number on Google and it will literally have you start chatting with someone in your local area. They don't need to know all your information or anything like that. It's just a way for you to do it. It's 988 is the number that you can call. I'm literally looking it up right now just to make sure if that is where you are in life and you're like, this is my final stand. Because I remember saying that. This is my final stand. And I told somebody, that person told someone else. And that person told my mama. And my mama had to actually take me to go get a mental evaluation from UC Irvine before I was even allowed to go back to school. Okay? And I realized in that moment that, one, I could express myself in other ways besides the way that I was doing it, and that I could literally change my life into the life that I have now. And through that, I literally have a collection of poetry from my childhood that I can look at and I can see. I was like, dang, Charenté, you were so profound at like 14. What? And I start learning back from myself, even in my age of 28. I can reflect on it. And I can also see that I've been through a lot just by writing it down. So if you're having a really hard moment right now and if your thoughts are becoming way too much, and if the scrolling out didn't work for you, if the saying stop didn't work for you, I want you to write it out. Write it out. All the thoughts. Nothing but the thoughts. Unapologetically, all the thoughts. Write it out. See it. Then allow yourself to truly rationalize those things if you really want to. Or I will say this. Write it all out and then write what you actually want to create in your life below it. And then what I want you to do is I want you to get a yellow marker or a yellow highlighter, marker, whatever floats your boat. And I want you to highlight what you're actually creating moving forward. And focus on those gold bars that you just gave yourself. Okay? Because sometimes you have to write it out. Sometimes you got to set some fires to some flames. And if you do the set into the fires to the flames, safety first. Having baking soda nearby too will be very, I think it's baking soda powder. Yeah, it's the orange bottle thingy. But yeah, be careful if you're going to do that part. Safety first. I'm always about safety first. So safety first if you're going to do that. And I thank you, for Lisa K, coming on the stage to have this conversation with me. And thank you guys for listening. And I just want to let you know what gifts are available to you. Woo! So the gifts that are available to you are these. You can head over to jclv21.com to be able to see these things. Give me 1 second. I'm going to restart this in a sec. And I'm back. My dog was being my dog. I love him. He's very vocal about what he wants. And I appreciate it. So I'm going to start this again. Okay. So the gifts that are currently available can be found at jclv21.com. There you're going to see the life check-in form that you can click, and it literally is a Google form that's available to you so you can see where you are in your mind, your health, your career, and your finances. By you taking the time to fill this out, you have now given yourself that awareness to facilitate the changes you would like to see in your life. Okay. Also on there, you're going to see a link to my podcast that is available everywhere. So Spotify, Apple Podcasts, iHeartRadio, Google, it's everywhere, y'all. There are currently, if I'm not mistaken, 12 episodes currently up. And you can take a look at that. Now, let's head over to the presenting of gifts. Woo! So the gifts that I have for you are available at jclv21.com. If you go there, you're going to see all the gifts I have for you, all of them. That includes the life check-in form so you can see where you are in your mind, your health, your career, and your finances. Because by having that awareness, you can facilitate the change as you are the creator of your reality. 2, you're going to get, if you click on podcast, you're going to see my podcast, and you can stream that now everywhere that you can stream podcasts. It's available on Apple. It's available on Spotify, iHeartRadio, and so on. The only one we're not available on right now is Pandora. Still working on that. So go ahead and stream it. If you want to join the Lighten Up Your Life Facebook community where I share wellness resources on the daily, there is a link for that as well. And if you just want to connect with me, you can do that there too. Go under the About Me section and click Connect with Me. And there you're going to find all the ways and all the spaces and places that I hold, such as Twitch, YouTube, Pinterest, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook. Where else am I? Clubhouse and Wisdom. All the names for all of that is under Charente Carr. CharenteCarr. It's universal everywhere you go. I'm even on TikTok, y'all. So connect with me, vibe with me. Let's do this life together consciously. And let's head out. It's time for this train to go full steam ahead to the next destination. I'm not saying you got to get out of bed. I'm not saying you got to get off work because I am not your manager. Don't get this clearance to say you got off work, okay? I didn't do that. I'm just saying that it's time for this train to head to the next destination. I want to thank you so much for listening in and riding with me to Affirmation Station. You may now exit the train and head to your next destination. Remember, there are transfer lines to the best day ever on platform 2 or the worst day ever on platform 3. I will see you for the next episode of Affirmation Station. And don't forget to laugh today. Don't forget to laugh because laughter is medicine. I love you to infinity and beyond. I hope you have a fantabulous, abundant, prosperous day just being yourself. Ta-ta for now. Affirmation Station, Affirmation Station. What's today's affirmation? Thank you so much for listening to this new episode of Affirmation Station Show. Remember to rate and review on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or your favorite podcast streaming platform. Be sure to give me a follow or DM me on Instagram at Charente Carr your key takeaways and your thoughts on this episode and what future topics I should cover. That's all for now. Until next time, see you.